All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Alyssa, and I am the Student Marketing Coordinator here for Pagoda Projects. Thank you so much to Cardiff for arranging this. We're very excited to be here to talk to you today about two different opportunities, but our main one that we're going to be focusing on is the Sustainable Global Experience. So let's dive in. Sustainable Global Experience, what is this program? Basically, this is a carbon conscious study tour that for Cardiff students goes to both Cardiff and Amsterdam. So the goal of, goes to both Brussels and Amsterdam, not Cardiff. The goal of the program is to kind of increase your carbon literacy abilities, and then to begin to understand how different businesses in these different locations are trying to meet these different global sustainable development goals, as well as getting to experience that in a new culture in a new country, which is very exciting. So the program includes a carbon literacy training. So this is an official program through Manchester Metropolitan University, and our staff are certified carbon literacy facilitators. So we'll work with you to become certified carbon literate. It's a pretty short program, and that's the first week. The second week, you'll do a 5-night field trip to either Amsterdam or Brussels, and the whole program is carbon conscious. So we get there by train, all emissions are offset by 150%. We focus on taking public transportation around the cities. We're meeting with businesses who are really focusing on sustainability initiatives, things like that throughout the entire program. And of course, those sustainable development goals from the United Nations that I mentioned are woven in throughout each component of the trip. So a little bit about the program. So the outcomes, our goal is to make sure you have an understanding of how sustainability issues and sustainable development, how these work across a variety of industries. This isn't a program that's limited to people from a certain discipline. We really want a well-rounded group of students. I know last year we had, just on the program that I attended, we had people who were learning to be teachers. We had more science-based disciplines. We had humanities disciplines, language. Like, there was a really wide variety of people, which makes it a really cool discussion because you learn so much more. So throughout the program, we're trying to understand how we can talk across all of these disciplines to make businesses as sustainable as possible. You'll also become carbon literate, so I'll touch on that a little bit more in depth later on. You'll also develop a range of transferable skills through a group project. So the group project that we had students do last year was a corporate social responsibility plan, a CSR plan, and it was about any company that they wanted. So this is a group project. We'll pair you with people. They might be all from Cardiff. There may be other students on the program who are not from Cardiff. I think because this is such a big group, it'll likely be all Cardiff students, but you'll be working across disciplines. So it won't just be everybody else who's in your same program. It'll be a wide variety of disciplines. So you're getting that range of perspectives, and you get to pick the company you focus on. And we make sure to give you plenty of time throughout the week for you to be able to work on this project. And then you'll also grow your personal and industry network. So this is a really great thing about this program as well, is because it's not just people from your discipline. You've got a range to get to know people in separate areas, and you get a chance to know different international companies as well. So there's plenty of networking opportunities. The big things to know, so these are the different dates for the different programs. So Amsterdam is the 6th through the 11th, and the Brussels is the 25th through the 30th. So it's of June. So it's worth noting that these are the field trip dates. So the week before will be the carbon literacy training, and that's done online, and it's not a full day event. I'll show you kind of a tentative schedule in a few slides, but the big dates you need to be aware of are these written right here. The pre-departure session, so we'll sit down and talk with you about what's expected, what you need to bring, everything like that, visas, anything like that. We have the carbon literacy training and qualification. Transportation from university to the destination is included. So for Cardiff students, I believe you guys will take a coach from Cardiff to London, where you'll catch the Eurostar, and then go off to either Brussels or Amsterdam with staff with you. Accommodation with breakfast is included. We'll also do welcome and farewell meals. Those are included as well. And then different tours and workshops at meetings with local businesses throughout the week as well. There's also a city travel card, which is really nice. So you can get around public transportation for free. You don't have to, you'll have plenty of free time in the evenings that you can travel around and explore by yourself as well. And then our team is on site the whole time to help you with anything you need, get to spend time and ask us questions, or just recommendations, because the staff have been to these cities quite a few times, especially after doing SGE there last year. Okay, so I've talked about carbon literacy training quite a bit, but what is carbon literacy training? So carbon literacy itself is defined as the awareness of carbon dioxide costs and impacts of everyday activities and the ability and motivation to reduce emissions on an individual, community, and organizational basis. So basically, this is a program by MMU, Manchester Metropolitan University, and what we do is we sit down with you and we talk primarily about the UK, since we're coming from UK universities. We talk about the impacts of the UK's activities of different cities within the UK and about the different goals that the cities and countries have set forth. And then we talk about handprint versus footprint. What can we do to make a difference, and how can we use our voices to kind of influence those around us to make a difference as well. And it really is an interesting program. I just went through it last year, and it's not super long, but it's really interesting. There's so much that you learn. I think one of the biggest takeaways for me was that even though the UK is one of the biggest producers of emissions, we're one of the countries that doesn't really feel the effects of it as much as those like poor countries. So it's really interesting to learn about this and to learn that we need to be doing more, even though it doesn't seem that drastic because we're not seeing as many of the effects. So it's really quite an enlightening program that I think is super beneficial. And of course, it's really nice to get that certificate. It's something else that you can put on your CV or add to your portfolio, share on LinkedIn, that just shows that you've gone one step further than the rest. And employers love that. So to be awarded that certificate, these are the things you have to complete, and you'll have time to do this throughout that first week. So that's what that entire first week is, just devoted to completing that carbon literacy training. Okay, so Amsterdam and Brussels, why have we chosen these cities to go to? Amsterdam, if anyone has ever been, it's a super green city, and it's aimed to be the green forefronter in Europe. As you know, there's loads of bicycles there. Cycling is very popular. And that's it just goes to show, I think, how much of a leader in sustainability Amsterdam is, because this is just the norm. Not even taking public transportation, but actually just cycling is just the norm on a day-to-day basis. You can also see here some goals that the Amsterdam City Council has set out over the next 30 years. So by 2050, this is going to be a city that's the goal is to be climate neutral. So and all roofs to be equipped with solar panels. So these are incredible goals, and we want to go and talk with businesses and understand how they're working through these goals, or towards these goals, I should say. And I think a good example of this is Brussels. So one of the goals for Brussels is to ban diesel and petrol cars from circulation by 2035, which is that's not that far away. And I think it's really interesting to sit down and talk to businesses, especially who might rely on driving, delivery, transportation. These kinds of businesses might be relying on this quite a bit. So how are they working within these goals? So things like this we'll explore and try to understand. And from that, you gain a better knowledge of how you yourself can support these initiatives, or go forth and even create your own business that aligns with these initiatives. Okay, so a sample itinerary here. So this virtual week, this is the first week before you go abroad. So you can see here, there are some self-study time slots here with courses you'll complete over the portal. So it only takes an hour or two. It's not super intensive, but again, really good, relevant information to have. On Tuesday and Thursday, these might be days that you do the live carbon literacy training. So this is where you'll sit down on a Google Meet call with our facilitators, and you'll go through these live training sessions. So they're really engaging sessions, and there are breaks throughout them. They actually go really fast. And then on Friday, you've got time to do your pledge, so that by the time you are then off to Amsterdam or Brussels, you are carbon literate, and you have a better understanding of things to ask the businesses, how to look at things from a different perspective. So quite exciting. In person, so this is another sample itinerary for that in-person week. So as you can see here, loads of free time in the evenings. There's also plenty of time throughout the week. So we make sure you get time to get oriented with the city through a scavenger hunt, plenty of time for group work as well, and company visits. So, and then, we want to make sure you have fun too. Like in Amsterdam, we went on a boat tour, and these things are included. So that's really fun. I think it seems I think looking at this, it's a really jam-packed full week, and you might not have a lot of time to explore. But it is, this is the purpose of the program, is to really get an understanding of the city and the initiatives and meet the businesses. And you really feel like you get that value, but you also get plenty of time to explore as well. It is quite fun. Okay, so accommodation. So accommodation is included in this program. So for both of these programs, I should say. So really central in the city. And I know in Amsterdam, the one we stayed in is like a 10-minute walk and like literally a 2-minute boat ride from the train station. So super easy. They are private single-sex dorms with about 4 to 6 students in each dorm. So there are private lockers and ensuite bathrooms, but you are sharing that room for the week. And they genuinely are quite nice hostels. I know when they said, Alyssa, you're going to be staying in a hostel for this week, I was like, what now? But they are really nice. Towels available to hire. You can also bring your own. There are lockers. You will need to bring a lock. So different things like this we'll make sure to cover in the pre-departure session. So you don't really have to remember it now. There are also common areas. So bar, cafe, shared kitchen, and that breakfast area is included as well. And I know at the Amsterdam one, the breakfast was extensive. There was a lot to choose from. And I always like to let people know as well, like if you have dietary restrictions and you're worried about like eating abroad for a week, don't be. There are loads of options. You will be totally fine. I can guarantee it. I guess I should say I can guarantee it. As a vegan, I can guarantee you will have plenty of options in Amsterdam and Brussels. And these accommodations are also low carbon as well. So that's why we've chosen these specific hostels, because they do make an effort to be more sustainable. Okay, and throughout the entire program, there's loads of support. So pre-departure sessions that I mentioned, our team are on the ground with you in Amsterdam and Brussels the whole time, even so much as staying in the same like hostels and whatnot. And then you've got 24/7 emergency support as well. And the nice thing is you're able through, we call it the Pagoda portal. So I like to think of it as more of an exclusive LinkedIn. You get the chance to meet with other people, like chat with other people who are going on the same program as you. So you can actually connect beforehand as well. Okay, yeah, that's literally what I just said. So you'll also get access to different skills courses. So this is another chance to get different certificates for different courses. So these are the 4 different courses. And you've got, I think you have like the duration, I think it's more than the duration of the program to complete them. I need to double check, but you've got plenty of time to complete them. And again, you can kind of use that portal as like a networking opportunity. Okay, program fees. This is the big one that I know everybody wants to know about. So it's open to all undergraduate students, I believe. So the program fee is £1,500, but Cardiff is funding £1,300. So students have to pay £200. And for WP students, it's fully funded. So, and remember, the transportation and accommodation are included in this. So the only other costs you'd really need to consider are probably like lunch and dinner money kind of thing. And then like if you want other money to, go to, paid museums or different things like that, which is another good note. Bring your student card because a lot of the different activities are discounted or free with a student card. Okay, I wanted to share this video as well. I'll just share my sound here. Oops.
It's been a good trip, to be honest. I like the fact that everything is focused on sustainability, and the fact that I'm now more conscious than I used to be. It is the sensitization and the awareness that I now have that I never had before. Given what I've learned here, I would like to try the veganism thing and see if it's something that I would like to take part of. But I really do like it. I like the fact that we're trying to save the planet. I like the fact that we're trying to make everything green. I'm looking forward to taking what I've gained here and putting it in my everyday life.
Oh, so much better than I expected. It's just meeting new people, having this free time to be able to go around the city, and also doing what I'm quite passionate about, sustainability, all at the same time, being able to see these companies, having the insight that, because that's the thing, from my university, I've never had the insight of a company. I've just been learning it theoretically, so it's been a really big helper and a good eye-opener. I think it's going to be a very strong thing to have on my CV, and it's definitely going to help me get a job.
I think the most interesting part was going to the businesses and seeing how it works in person, and seeing how many people are really interested in it, and how kind of Amsterdam as a city, they all work together to keep the sustainability in the city and do things better for the environment. In my MBA program, I have studied about this sustainable kind of thing, but it wasn't like very deep. But I get to know more when I came here and visited all these companies, so I can use that in my CV and apply for the same position in some other company.
I want to thank my university about this training. It's very, very interesting, and the team is very, very helpful, supporting, and we learn a lot of things about how to protect our earth, how to be healthy in traveling and in thinking about our future generation.
I think what maybe people didn't understand as to why we were taking the train, because I think everyone was kind of thinking, oh, why have we not just flown, because it's so much quicker. And then finding out a flight is 13 times as bad for the environment as a train. So I think that's probably been the most interesting part, is actually everything you do, taking into consideration what impact it might have in the future.
I feel like it's a really good networking opportunity. Not only did I meet different people, but we're all from different backgrounds, studying different things, and basically all of us are the new future, let's say.
It's a great opportunity, to be honest. You know, it's like once in a lifetime opportunity. You know, to me, it's a very good way to educate yourself, to educate your mind, and being part of the future. Yeah. So I think the sustainability program, it's a very good one for the future.
Thank you very much, Cardiff Met, Santander Universities. Great choice, amazing. I loved it, and I think we should do this every year for every new student.
So I love sharing that video because that's the one that that's the program that I went on and helped out on last year. So a lot of that is like my video footage, and I got to meet those students. So that's why I like to share that one. But Brussels is a great trip as well. I haven't been able to go yet, but our team there are fantastic. And having been to Brussels before, it's great as well. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is that if you are looking for a slightly longer experience or something more traditional internship, Cardiff is also helping to fund blended internships. So that's 4 weeks in person and 4 weeks online. It's the same host company throughout. So this is a really cool opportunity to get both remote and in-person work experience. And I always say to people, like, I'm talking to you today from my second bedroom in Edinburgh, while the majority of our team is in Manchester, and we've got people in Asia, and we've got like people all over the world really who are supporting on these programs. So it's really good to have that kind of mix of a work experience. The destinations for that are Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, Lisbon, Portugal, or Madrid, Spain. So that's such amazing destinations and quite a variety there as well. And similarly, accommodation is included in country. So it's June 26th to the 23rd of August for those dates. And I believe the blended, or so the online portion will come the 4 weeks before, will be before the in-person section. So that's quite nice because then you already know what's expected of you with the internship. And so when you get to the country, it's just kind of the same day-to-day stuff, but you get to do it in a different country. So you don't have to worry about trying to adjust to a new internship at the same time as you're also adjusting to a new country. You can just kind of get on with it. So that's really quite exciting. The cost after the funding, so if you want to go to Madrid or Lisbon, it's £745, and the cost to students for Vietnam after funding from Cardiff is £250. And again, that's accommodation included as well, and that's open to students of all different sectors. So we have quite a variety of internships. So there's really quite a lot to choose from. So if you're interested, then what I would encourage you to do, I thought I had updated that link actually. So hopefully this takes you to the landing page. Oh no, I think because there's two for this. So this should take you to the events page, and you can submit your info and just let us know if you're interested in SGE or internships. And then we can connect you with your admissions associate and get you all the relevant details for that. So you can go ahead and apply. The deadline to keep in mind is March 10th. So coming up really quite soon. So if you are interested, get your application in as soon as possible because funding is limited. All right, that is me. Chris, would you like to add anything from your end?
Nothing particular, just a thank you from me for your time, for that really interesting information. the SGE opportunity in Brussels and Amsterdam in particular is, as Alyssa said, a really good opportunity. Alyssa's got first-hand experience of being on that, so that really shone through, Alyssa, your enthusiasm for that program. So that was great to hear. Just a quick note for any final year students. The Brussels option is open to you because it's a 2-week program and it would be finished before graduation. So if you are due to graduate this year and you're looking for something this summer, that's a really good opportunity for you. The funding and everything like that is all explained on our student intranet. If you search for Spend Time Abroad, you'll find all of our intranet pages, and that's where you'll find all the information and links on how to apply and things like that. I think that's all, Alyssa. So again, thanks for your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Great. I'll stop recording.